Hello, I had a little technical glitch, so the preview or the setup that I made earlier I couldn't get into it. So I hope that it's obvious on the YouTube channel and you can make the switch. So I'm sorry about that. I also just want to say something on chat, just to be sure it's working. You're here. So, okay. So, okay, quelqu'un a dit, il est français, mais cette vidéo est en anglais, mais dommage. Je m'excuse, mais je ne peux faire les enseignements je m'excuse. So, but there we do have lots of. Nous avons beaucoup des live streams en français aussi. Yeah. Hi. Okay, so I'm glad that. Thank you for responding and letting me know that you're there and that you found the YouTube. I set it up. I noticed when I set it up, it was a little bit different than usual. So I must have done something wrong, and I couldn't get into it. So anyway, here we are. Here we are in this very unusual set of conditions in this world, and I find it really helpful and good to have a sense of connecting with you and with others who are engaging in meditation and spiritual practices to try to keep us steady and open-hearted and in touch with ourselves and able to respond to the needs of others in this time. I wanted to share a few thoughts about how I'm being, how I am, and what I've been thinking about in these past days. I certainly find that for me, as the days go on and the weeks go on, that my experience changes, and this may be true for you as well. It's the duration of it has an impact, I think, and I'm really finding that I miss people. I miss my engagement. I miss being with people and being the person I am with my friends, with my colleagues. Different people call forth different things from me, and so I miss that richness, and I also call forth things from people that I engage with, and it's a beautiful and rich weave, a tapestry of relationships, and I'm just becoming more aware in the past few days how precious that is. So that's a beautiful thing in a way, to have a sense of how precious it is to be engaged in relationship, to directly experience the life around us. And so as I reflect on that, I realize that I need to find ways that are helping me to to find the grounding that that helps me to keep reaching out and to find the nourishment in the ways that I can in relationships, and to give the nourishment that I can in relationships. So I think that one of some of the ways that I've been thinking about this also is that some of the ways that we relate to people are not so healthy too. I mean, there's that, and so we may be noticing that that we feel different within ourselves because we're not projecting whatever thought distortions we may have about people judging us or people expecting things of us. They're just not there in the same way. Maybe they are in our thoughts, but they're not there in the same way in our workplace, in our relationships with people in the neighborhood, in our family engagements. They're not there in the same way for us to kind of be bouncing our projections off of them and experiencing ourselves in certain ways. So that actually can also be an opportunity to notice, well, what feels different about how I'm experiencing myself? Do I feel ungrounded in this time when I'm not kind of in this web in the same way, or feeling myself or directly experiencing myself in this web? Of course, we are very much still in the web of our relationships, but we don't experience it so immediately. So am I feeling ungrounded? Am I feeling like uncertain, not sure who I am? Different ways. I might not be saying it in a way that resonates with you, and maybe this is not a factor for you. Maybe you feel very, kind of solid and grounded, which is great and wonderful. Can be great support. But I think it's interesting to reflect on how are we kind of reaching out and not finding what we're used to finding in our relationships, and what can we call forth within ourselves to both nourish ourselves and also to give support to others. Of course, one very beautiful way that we can nourish a sense of feeling connected is to reach out and connect with people. I've been doing that, and people have been doing that for me. And my neighbor in the back called me. I haven't spoken to her in quite a long time, but she just wanted to connect and see if everything was okay. And also, if you feel that you need support, I think it's really important that you not be shy. We shouldn't be shy at this time to say, I'm just calling, I just felt I needed to connect. feeling a bit cut off or isolated, or a little wobbly or shaky, just really wanted to talk to you. And also I think when we think of somebody, when somebody comes to our mind and we think, oh, I wonder how so-and-so's doing. It's like that thought, like we can just experience that as just a little message from the heart. Maybe it's good to call that person and check in with them. Another very beautiful way to stay connected, of course, is just offering goodwill, just bringing forward in our hearts a sense of kindness, goodwill, caring, and it's something that I'm doing, especially for people that I think of who are most vulnerable. And aside from staying in touch with them, if I have a way of doing that, but there are some people I don't have a way of staying in touch with. Maybe they're just people I know about, I'm thinking about, and just bringing forward that caring, that goodwill, that compassion, it's a way of staying connected, and it's not that it's somehow magically going to help people, but I think that there is a dimension in which we are all connected, that is profound and in a way not knowable logically, but it is a kind of energy within which we all are alive. And it does connect us. As I was saying before, we experience ourselves coming into being in certain ways with certain people. They call forth different strengths, different qualities from us. Maybe they trigger us too. That also happens, and that may be difficult, but it's also an opportunity. People who trigger us, and it's like a big arrow pointing to, okay, here's where you need to pay attention. Here's where you need to look to work. Here's where you need to heal. So we need these people too. So thanks. I really I'm really so glad to have this opportunity to share thoughts, and I'd like to do some practice with you now, and maybe afterwards we can exchange some thoughts and ideas. I just want to say before we go into practice that my dog really wanted to come into the room with me. She really, this is the room where I practice, and she often likes to come in when I sit and lie down with me. So I'm just hoping she'll not hear something outside and start barking. I couldn't say no. So so let's take a posture for meditation. Of course, you don't need to be facing the computer. You can kind of just turn it away or turn yourself away from the computer. Just letting go of the image, the screen, and just turning your attention inward and finding a posture which is stable and balanced and supportive. and bringing an uprightness and energy to your posture. I invite you to begin by taking a few breaths and really feeling the out breath, and on the out breath, letting go of any tension, any tightness, any anxiety that you may be holding. And of course, you may feel it's not all gone, but just inviting it to let go. Feeling the body sitting on the earth, Mother Earth. Trusting the earth to support us. Relaxing into that support. And bringing attention to feeling the breath. And as I often mention at the beginning, I do primarily teach with the breath, and it's not essential that you turn your attention to the breath. If for some reason the breath is not an easy meditation object for you, you can feel your body sitting on the chair or the bench or the cushion. You can, perhaps there are sounds, subtle sounds coming and going. Just bringing your attention to the body, to the senses in the body, which ground us in our presence in the moment. So the breath, working with the breath, if you are, can be felt in any place in the body, or it can be felt just in a general way in the body. Don't have to pinpoint, narrow your focus, although there are many ways to teach, and so that is one way to teach, to bring a very narrow focus, but it's not the only way to practice. So if that's the way you practice, then that's perfect. That's fine. I'm going to offer some suggestions, and you use what feels helpful for you. So as we collect our attention around the breath, kind of gathering in the scattered, fragmented mind, the restless mind, just gathering it in with the breath. The Buddha used an image of kneading. He used the image of kneading bath powder into a ball. We don't do that anymore, but but many of us have kneaded bread or kneaded some kind of dough. And so that gathering, the breath in a way serves to gather in, as we gather in all the little bits, all the flour, and we collected into the ball of dough, and it becomes more consistent. It becomes integrated. It becomes less bits and pieces and more of a whole. And that's how the breath collects our attention and brings us into a sense of being in the whole body, gathering in and experience ourselves present in the body. If you are keeping a focus on the breath in a very precise way, or if you are tending to have a very open kind of just an open awareness, not particularly connecting to the body, those are different ways that we can meditate. We might narrow the focus, be very, very precise, and we might have a very kind of wide open, it's kind of a choiceless awareness kind of practice where there's not a particular object. So I'm offering an instruction if you choose to kind of follow this instruction, that's fine. If not, that's fine too. So just finding a middle way, a middle kind of focus, a middle lens. So it's not wide open, like a wide open lens, a very broad, nor is it very, very, very precise, but it's just feeling the whole body. It's a lens in which we rest in the whole body. I find that the cultivation of this object of the whole body, this lens, is very helpful for living from mindfulness as well as practicing in meditation, in formal meditation. So bringing a sense of bringing your mindfulness to a sense of the whole body, how the body is, the posture of the body, how the body's sitting or lying down. Let the edges of the body feel soft, permeable. Knowing that the body is an open system. The breath, the life energy around us moves through and in the body. If you find that by habit your focus tends to narrow down or become very open, and you're intending to practice with this whole body focus, just bring yourself back, collect the attention or stretch the focus open a little bit more to include the whole body. There's awareness of the breath. It's more peripheral or in the background. The breath is rising and falling. Like a gentle drumbeat. As you rest in the whole body, notice the different qualities of energy in the body, not needing to change anything or adjust anything, just being aware. Some of the body might be more in shadow. There might be a quality of light. There might be a feeling tone in the body, perhaps a pleasant feeling tone of contentment or joy or relief, just letting go of the busyness. You may find that perhaps your energy or your presence, mindfulness is settling in the body. And if not, that's fine. It's every practice unfolds in its own way. And if you do find that there's a settling, you can notice if in the body there are places where you feel a quality of calmness. The body is becoming more relaxed, more ease. There might even be a quality of joy, of well-being. In one of the discourses on mindfulness of the body, the Buddha talks about the body being filled with bright attention. Quality of lightness. Of joy. So notice if there's some place in the body where you maybe connect with that, even subtly, even a very, just maybe in the upper chest or in the tops of the hands. And enjoy that. We can enjoy the beauty, enjoy the goodness, enjoy the nourishment of our practice. It's not that we're grasping for it. When it arises, we can notice it. And the noticing of it encourages it to grow. Discovering our inner resources is finding these ways to access the goodness, the joy, the resilience, the love that resides, that abides within us. So as we sit in the last 5 minutes or so of the practice, I invite you to bring attention to the heart and breathing into the heart, imagining, if you will, that that you're as you breathe in you're breathing in from the heart. Of course, we know that you're breathing in air, but bring in a kind of an imagination of or a practice of breathing from the heart center. And as you breathe out, fill your body with the quality of metta, the quality of kindness, of goodwill and friendship coming from your heart center. Sense of sourcing your breath from the heart, from the center where we're connected to all of life. And breathing out into your whole being, filling your being, caring for yourself in this way, nourishing yourself, resourcing yourself with love, with friendship, with compassion. And I invite you to just have a sense that as you're filling your whole being, head to toe, front to back, side to side, with loving kindness, that it's flowing through this porous edge of the body, flowing outward in all directions. Bringing light, bringing care, bringing kindness, connection, friendship. You may find as you visualize or imagine the breath moving from the whole surface of your body in all directions, you may find yourself thinking of particular people or places. And you can perhaps in some way have a sense that these waves of metta, of loving kindness, are touching or soothing or supporting people that are coming to your mind, or other beings, other forms of life around us. As we finish the formal part of our time together, let's dedicate our practice to the benefit of all. The goodness, the blessings of our practice and of our lives in the many, many ways that we try to call forth the best of who we are, to be present to others, to be present to ourselves. Let's dedicate all the goodness of this to the well-being, the safety, the happiness, and the liberation of all beings everywhere. So I'd love to hear from you if you have anything you'd like to share. How is your practice in this time, and what does it look like, and do you have any questions? Is there anything that's that you're finding really helpful? One of the things I'm realizing is that maybe people know this. A lot of people probably already know this, but it's really important for me to structure my day and to prioritize what I really need to do every day. I really want to do every day, and not get caught up too much in staying in touch with how things are developing, but not getting too caught up in news reports. I think that can be kind of a black hole you can get sucked into. Anybody want to bring anything up? I think that one of the things I'm finding, and perhaps you are as well, is and it's kind of going back to what I spoke about in the beginning, is how precious our relationships are, and how we, I find there are things that I miss, just engaging with people and in ordinary ways, and so I really try to take joy in seeing people from a distance, like seeing families out. I noticed there was a family out biking, and they had delivered a banana bread to one of my neighbors a few doors down, and I think they must have left the bread on the doorstep and then rang the bell, and they were having a conversation with her, from a distance, and it was it was really lovely, so we can take joy in the goodness of others. We can take joy in the kindness of others. Yeah, so somebody is saying that spending so much time alone or just with one other person, it can be very challenging. The self-talk can become corrosive. So yeah, so we're less busy. We're confined to our our immediate surroundings, and so we're not kind of going here and going there. And somebody said, and I think it's really true, for those of you who have been on long retreats, that this in some ways is like being on a long retreat, and we start really seeing the mind. So there are different ways of working with all of this self-talk. So this person goes on to say that that one of the ways that she's working with this is to really look for the beauty around her, the beauty in nature, and in noticing the goodness of people and the generosity. And so that is a really good way. Sometimes we, on a retreat, if you want to, say, okay, I'm on a long retreat, and I don't even know if this is a 1 month retreat or a 2 month retreat or a 3 month retreat. So we can also work with the mind, and so it's good to nourish ourselves and to nourish the heart. And we can also begin to notice the mind in a way that is bringing the practice of mindfulness and investigation to our experience. And we can notice, what is the tone of the voice, the self-talk? What is the tone? Is it, the word, this person used the word corrosive. So it sounds like it's harsh. It sounds like it's eroding of the joy and the happiness that whatever may be there, the ease and well-being that may be there. And so that, that voice is coming from a place of causes and conditions in our lives that in which we developed those ways of, that voice kind of took root in our minds. It became a habit. The voice, the judging voice, the scolding voice, the voice that tells us that we're not doing enough or we're not good enough, that voice, we learned to talk to ourselves in that way because we thought that some way that would help us to survive. We had the notion that somehow, if we did that would help us to become more acceptable to the people that we wanted to be acceptable to. So it was a strategy, and it was the best that we could do at the time with what we had. But, you know, working skillfully with the self-talk, the harsh self-talk, could involve just acknowledging that that is, you know, that's just a thought. That's a thought. That's not real. That voice, as real as it sounds, as much as it sounds like me and mine, it's not. It's not what I truly want for myself. It's an echo from the past. It's an old story. It's a ghost. And so we can, without rejecting it, we can acknowledge it and invite it to move on. We can bring metta to the one who is giving voice to that and the one who is hearing it. So not really two different people, but appearing to be so in our thoughts. The division, the way that we divide ourselves from ourselves and we talk to ourselves and judge ourselves. It's like we divide our minds in half and look back at ourselves. And so just bringing metta to both the one who is speaking, the one who is listening, knowing that they're just really not two, just one heart. Bringing compassion to the one who devised that strategy, who came up with that strategy. So we might, you know, if we think about this as, you know, maybe if we take times during the day that we think, okay, this is a kind of an opportunity to have this kind of focus and practice and see how that works. So it's also good to, you know, to give yourself some slack and to relax and to watch a movie and listen to music, you know, and music can be really very nourishing as well in this time, very calming. Listen to music that brings you joy, that opens your heart. Somebody made a comment that that more superficial relationships might fall apart, yeah, that this can test a relationship for sure. You know, it tests it calls forth our resilience and it can test a relationship. It can also be an opportunity for us to rethink how we respond habitually to people. You know, I think we all need a little more TLC. You know, we all need maybe just, you know, one of the things I'm doing with my partner that I live with is just to be aware that maybe we're all just needing a bit more warmth, you know. And if he asks me a question and I need to say, I can't do that right now, you know, just to be aware that I say, no, I can't do that right now. Sorry, I'll be with you later for that. You know, just really kind of caretaking, especially carefully, especially tenderly and kindly, these relationships, and also the people that we're keeping in touch with from a distance. So Bibiana, just really bringing humor as well. Yeah, that's so important. Just being, and sometimes saying, "Oh well," like bringing that, well, I didn't finish all of the things I wanted to do, or I didn't practice as long, or even practice at all, and not beat ourselves up, but just say, "Oh well, okay. So mañana, tomorrow, we can do that." So thank you for gathering in this virtual space, and I encourage you to stay connected to the different live streams that are being offered through True North Insight. There is an opportunity to offer Dana to TNI. Because I kind of set it up impromptu. It's not at the bottom of my my information for this live stream, but if you want to send Dana to True North Insight, or if you want to send Dana to support me in my teaching, we're very, very grateful and glad that you're participating. So be well, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and see you next time.